What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And there are reports coming out from various English media sources that Chelsea forward Willian is in talks with Liverpool over a surprising transfer move, a free transfer to Liverpool in the summer, because his contract is expiring at the end of the season and Willian is at home in Brazil actually after, football has shut down in England. And he said that he won't even return to Chelsea because he has no intention to sign a contract extension, because he wanted a 3-year contract extension, and considering that he's 31 years old, I can understand why Chelsea didn't give him that. The big question is, would you think he would be a really good backup player for Liverpool? Because I heard Shaqiri's agent saying that Shaqiri will have many proposals in the summer. He already had many clubs inquiring about his services in January, so Shaqiri will leave and this could be a direct replacement. So Shaqiri's squad place is taken up by Willian, and I consider Willian to be a slightly better player than Shaqiri. They are a similar age. Shaqiri is, I think, 2 or 3 years younger than Willian. But Willian is just such a tricky player. I really enjoyed watching him play, even though he plays for Chelsea. When he is on form, he is a really exciting player. He was a Brazilian international for long as well, and he on average scored around 10 goals per season in the past 5 seasons in the Premier League, which is a very consistent, reliable output. And also he played already for 70 games for the Brazil national team, scoring 9 goals in that time. So he's a very experienced player, and I think he would be a really good backup player if his wages are not too high. And I would give him like a 2-year contract at Liverpool, and he could still be a very good backup player. But I would only give him a contract if Liverpool have no plans to replace Shaqiri with a younger, more exciting player. And let me know guys, do you think it's a good move to give Willian that place of Shaqiri, or should Liverpool just give youngsters a chance like Harry Wilson, for example, because Harry Wilson could play in a similar position on the right wing. So in this video we will take a look at various different transfer news coming out of Liverpool, and also what Liverpool need to do to stay on top next season in the Premier League as well. So guys, if you enjoy these Liverpool videos, leave a like and subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news. So according to some publications in England and Spain, talks have come to a standstill at Chelsea, between Willian and Chelsea, and Liverpool are looking to capitalize by offering Willian a contract to join Liverpool in the summer. And Willian's former manager at Shakhtar Donetsk, Mircea Lucescu, actually believes that now is the right time for Willian to try out a new challenge. This is what he said: Willian has been at Chelsea for many years and perhaps it is time for a change. The London club fell in love with his performances when he faced us in the Champions League, and that's why he signed for Chelsea. And also Chelsea don't want to keep him because they have Hakim Ziyech coming in. Hakim Ziyech's contract at Ajax expires in June, and this transfer will go through, but Hakim Ziyech won't be eligible to play this season whenever the season is finished, so he will be only able to play next season, whenever next season starts, And we also have to mention that Liverpool were interested in Willian before, in 2013, before Tottenham appeared to sign Willian, and then later Chelsea scooped in and basically stole Willian from Tottenham's hands. Liverpool were actually heavily interested with Willian, but you have to be honest, in 2013 Liverpool weren't as attractive a club as Chelsea, who were winning titles and trophies regularly, and Liverpool at that time didn't really do that. And the Liverpool Echo's Liverpool correspondent Paul Gorst is saying that Liverpool are not considering buying Willian, or actually they are not considering contacting Willian and talking with him. So you have to take these transfer stories with a pinch of salt. It's actually very interesting that media sources in one part of England and also in Spain are saying that Liverpool are in talks with Willian, and other sources are saying that Liverpool have no interest in Willian. But this kind of transfer story may hint and may point towards the kind of transfer deals that Liverpool will pursue maybe in the summer, and that is free agents, because Liverpool might find themselves in a difficult financial situation after this financial crisis is over, or even like when football restarts, the financial crisis might be not over yet. And that's why Liverpool might just sign one or two big players, and the rest will be either young players coming back from loan, like Ryan Brewster, like Harry Wilson, or giving Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott more playing time, Neco Williams as well. So Liverpool can strengthen from within, as well as signing one or two big players like Timo Werner and maybe one other big player, maybe a young left back. But otherwise, we will maybe look at the market and sign some really good free agents or some bargain players. Sky Sports is reporting that 4 of Liverpool's Champions League winning squad are facing decisions on their futures with, of course, differing degrees of urgency. The situation is further complicated by this really big mess that football has found themselves in, and the ongoing uncertainty as to when football will resume and what next season will look like in terms of scheduling and financing. That means for now the club has more pressing things to deal with than finalizing new deals for Sadio Mane, Jorginho Wijnaldum, Dejan Lovren and Adam Lallana. I think the last 2 players, we can safely say, they are almost certain to leave Liverpool. Lallana, I'm almost 100% he will not be at Liverpool next season, and Dejan Lovren is like 80 or 90%. The big question is what will happen with Wijnaldum and Mane, because especially Wijnaldum, he was in the middle of contract talks without actually the contract being finalized. But now Liverpool might play the waiting game. We might not offer Wijnaldum a new contract until we know what our financial future will look like after this situation is over, and same with Sadio Mane as well. I think Mane is the least troubling situation, because Mane is signed up until 2023, but Lallana, for example, he's out of contract. Lovren and Wijnaldum have 1-year deals left on their contract. The problem with Mane is that the longer Liverpool go without offering Mane a new contract, the more concerning these talks of Real Madrid coming in and trying to sign Mane are getting. Actually, the figures being talked about Mane potentially moving away are 130, between 130 and 150 million. Good money for a 28-year-old, but does the value of Mane to this Liverpool team and the strike rate of around 1 goal every 2 games mean more than a potential profit on Mane? And Stephen Warnock, a former Liverpool player and Sky Sports pundit, said this: "It is important that they try Liverpool and tie Mane down, because you want to keep your best assets at your club and to help bring other big players in. Those players want to play with the best, not the second best." From Mane's point of view, he's got a manager there that adores him, fans that adore him, and he knows the system that he's playing in. Don't forget the way Liverpool have grown over the last 4 or 5 years under Jurgen Klopp. In the last 2 years, they have elevated themselves into an elite team now, and Mane is arguably Liverpool's crown jewel in all of that. I'm sure if he was to knock on the door and ask for a new contract, he would be rewarded for it as well. And Warnock also added, look at the situation previously with Luis Suarez, with Philippe Coutinho. Liverpool handled both of those situations very well, signing them to new contracts and bumping the value of those players up, if you like. If Liverpool were to sell Mane and cash in on him, then now is probably the time to do it, because with his age, his value is probably at its peak or in and around its peak right now. And I fully agree, if we want to get the most out of selling Mane, then it's 150, 130 million maybe. Right now, in 1 or 2 seasons, that value will come down. But I don't want Liverpool to sell Mane. Mane is one of my favorite players. I'm just saying, as a devil's advocate, that if Liverpool decide that in the next 1 or 2 years we want to sell Mane, maybe now is the time to do it rather than next season. The big question is, can we get Sancho in, for example, if we sell Mane? Because if we don't, if we can't get Sancho in, if Sancho is going to another club, then we shouldn't sell Mane, because then Liverpool will be a lot weaker. And without Mane, we probably won't win the title next season, if we don't replace him, that is. Warnock also continued, but for Liverpool they will just want to extend the contract of Mane, because to go out and replace Mane would cost an astronomical amount of money. In an uncertain financial climate, would that player then come in and fit in straight away? That's a big question. And this is what a Liverpool fan, John Gibbons, said. He's just as important, Mane, now to Liverpool as Mo Salah. In fact, it's a genuine front three, and if we lost any of them, then it would be a real blow for Liverpool, just because of how well they all play together, how hard they work. I think they could do with another one to come in to be able to give them a bit of rest. At the moment, it's get them on the pitch as much as possible, and if one of them is injured, then there is an obvious drop of quality there. But keeping these great players at the club and building from there is how Liverpool keep progressing. Madrid's money might be tempting with Mane's age, but you would still have to replace him, and then you are taking a gamble on someone else who might not have the same impact. I would rather see the money and the talent on the pitch. Also, with Liverpool being back as one of the premier clubs in Europe, it's a bit easier to persuade the players that they can win anything they want at Liverpool. That's actually a very good point by this Liverpool fan. And I'm a little bit surprised that Wijnaldum still hasn't been tied down to a new contract, considering how influential Wijnaldum is. He's one of our starting 11 players, and he has been for quite some time. And considering how important he is to Liverpool's team and how it works, it's a little bit surprising that he has just a little bit over 1 year left on his contract. And this is what Warnock said. Wijnaldum has been a revelation since he arrived at Liverpool. With the arrival of Naby Keita and Fabinho, you wondered whether he would get in the starting 11, but his form in the last couple of years has been outstanding. I'm sure the club understands his value, how important he is, and what he brings to the team. So I'm not too worried, because I do feel that a contract will get done. It's a bit of a mystery to Liverpool fans, the Wijnaldum situation, because he has been such a key player for Liverpool. It's one of those contract situations where everyone thinks it will be done soon, but we are getting to just one year left on his contract. And all talk, any new deals are on hold at the moment. I think maybe we are trying to avoid having players well into their 30s on big money and not playing so much. But we all hope he stays. He's a popular player at the club. He can play a couple of different positions, and he's just a great team player, so hopefully it will get done. Most Liverpool fans I know certainly want that to be the case. And now Warnock talks about Dejan Lovren. Lovren is still a top class defender. To replace him with a player of equal or better quality, how much is that going to cost Liverpool, and is it a gamble you can take? Jurgen Klopp knows Lovren is a good professional. He likes him in and around the changing room. Lovren also has a great relationship with Mo Salah. And as a manager, you have to be careful what you do within the changing room. Lovren also knows he will be called upon at certain times. With Liverpool fighting on 7 fronts this season, he knew he was going to get game time. Again, next season there will be plenty of games, so I can see him staying maybe for 1 more year, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if he were to sign an extension to his deal. That's Warnock's opinion. My opinion is that Lovren will not get a contract extension. Maybe we sell him this summer for a little bit of money, or maybe he runs down his contract and leaves next summer on a free transfer. Those are the 2 scenarios I think which are most likely to happen. It may be better for him and for the club to sort of say goodbye. We are talking still about Lovren here, and this is another Liverpool fan's opinion. It's very much a settled two with Van Dijk, the superstar, and Gomez, the preferred partner. Joao Matip is someone who has come in and he has been dependable as well. He played in the Champions League final. So I think for Dejan, you are looking at that thinking, could I have a good career somewhere else? He's a good player. He's played in World Cup final, and he might be thinking, the age I am, do I really want to be hanging around not knowing when my next game is, only coming in for injuries, or do I want to go and do something else? But it will be up to Dejan Lovren. I think Jurgen would always have a place for him around the squad if he wanted. he's Mo Salah's best friend as well, so that's got to count for something, hasn't it? Oh, that's a good point actually. And Warnock said this about Lallana. How many games is Lallana going to play? Is he going to force his way into that midfield or front three? Possibly not, but what he brings is a wealth of experience. We have seen it this season when he has come in and affected games so well. However, you have to look to the future. You have to look at Curtis Jones, the progress he has made this season. He has shown he can play at a higher level, and he is more than comfortable playing at that level. So I think the club sees it that Curtis Jones could be one of those players who comes through the academy like Trent Alexander-Arnold, where not only his value rises, but the quality he brings could be such a bonus for the club. His work rate and what he puts in for the team seems to be exactly what Klopp wants. His intelligence as well. Lallana is tenacious, creative, and everything points to him being a successful club player. It's the injuries that have cost him. When Jurgen first came in, he was doing the best with what he had. Since then, we have hardly made a bad move in the transfer market, which means lots more good players have come in, and it's just harder now to get into this team. There are really good players on the bench each week. There's one or two even who can't get in the squad, so that's what he's competing with now. The levels have risen, and that's actually a very good argument. Lallana can't get into the team because he's a bad player or he's not any good anymore. It's just the standard is so incredibly high at Liverpool. It's very, very difficult to get into the team. And finally, I want to share with you guys what Ryan Brewster said about his ambitions for the future as a Liverpool player. He said this: I want my legacy to be remembered for football and for being one of the best in the world. It's still a journey and I'm working hard, but to be remembered as one of the best footballers in the world would be a dream. Training against Van Dijk is a madness. It's very hard. It's going to be a surprise, but I would say the hardest team that I had was Japan at the World Cup. I've never played against a team so organized. We drew 0-0, they played 4-4-2, but we couldn't get through. But also Brewster said that Van Dijk was and is his strongest opponent, strongest defender that he has ever come up against, and he has been training at Liverpool for a couple of years now, so he knows how tough playing against Van Dijk is in training. And that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Good night.